Well, I feel like this is probably the weirdest way that we've started off a reunion.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. It felt like a sort of like an in memoriam type of situation. We had a picture. We had some body cam footage. We really had it all.
We should have had one more reenactment from Bravo of the. They should have done that.
Yeah,
That's
all they should have done.
Yeah.
Just replay that and like let us all remember what happened in the first episode to start off the season.
That was the craziest way to start off a season, and this is one of the strange ways to start off a reunion.
Bros and shows. I gotta have me my bros and shows. Bros and shows. Bros and shows. I gotta have me my bros and shows.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Bros and Shows. I'm your co-host, Steele Russell, joined as always by the one and only Skeeter McGee. What's up, dude?
I had a realization during this episode. Less of an epiphany. I feel like epiphanies are reserved for like
a
real big things.
A RHOP-piphany.
RHOP-piphany. All right, I'll use that. Fine.
Thank you.
That's what I had while watching this reunion because I felt like this, while it was good, it was structured well.
I like the structure very much.
Easy for you to take notes, which I always think about during reunions.
Thanks, dude.
I thought to myself, a bad/boring reunion episode is not indicative of a season because I thought this was a good season. We had our ups and downs, mostly ups.
I think it was a solid. It wasn't a great season.
No, but it was so much better than last season of Potomac. So I'm gonna just say it was a good season.
Yeah.
Just because we had a first episode, and look, if the next two episodes, I think it's 3 parts, right? Is it just
I
two?
don't know.
I don't know. They didn't really say it.
They
at the
made
end
it
either.
seem like it was 2 with the cutscenes, but
maybe it is only 2. Either way, I'm not going to hold them accountable if it's a bad reunion because it was still an enjoyable season that we got through.
I didn't think this episode was terrible. There's just not a whole lot to it.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was awful. It was just kind of, it felt like we were getting a lot of setup and then like cleaning, like, because we do know if it's a 3-parter, we've been blessed with the last 2 Housewives shows have had 3 great reunion episodes.
Yes, correct. That's the other problem.
We have potentially forgotten that usually one of the 3 tends to be a filler.
Yeah.
This felt like that. Let's clean up some of the little stuff that's going on this season. Let's bring out Jassi immediately.
Yeah.
Let's go through her stuff real
I
quick.
feel like we went through all of Karen's stuff because she's not even there.
Yeah.
We just kind of went through that to begin with. And like they're still taking shots at Karen or talking about her here and there. But we're not going to have, all right, here's the Karen storyline.
Right.
We're just going to get that out of the way immediately because she's not here to talk. So
I think this was like a cleanup episode.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
Let's take care of some details so that we can get into some shit
It's
later.
either this or we get the 3rd episode where it's just a sit down with Karen, or it's the 3rd episode is half reunion, half sit down with. No, we're not getting that. We already got that in the beginning with her weird Zoom call in, which we'll talk about. But we could have had the 3rd episode be half reunion, then they kind of like finish everything off. They take their shots at the end, whatever. And then we have 20 minutes of Andy sitting with Karen, which we're not getting.
Right.
But that's probably what we could have had. So instead we had this.
This was fine.
It was fine.
It was fine.
Yeah.
And like you said, we start out with Karen. Before we even get to the reunion setup, we get this video of her finding out about the fact that she was found guilty on 7 of 8 charges. She says, my stomach dropped. There's a month till sentencing, which got pushed. It's coming up, isn't it?
I think it's coming up.
February
yeah.
28th?
Something like that, yeah.
Somewhere, yeah. We're getting close to her sentencing, which could result in up to 2 years of prison time.
Could also get pushed again.
I think the reason it got pushed was she got a whole new legal team.
Yeah.
Because she's trying to refute the fact that the jury found her guilty, but whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for her, especially after watching this. But, you know, you get her confessional where it's like, I care about the children, I care about my family, and she's still holding on to the fact that she's not an alcoholic. And she ends it with like, do as I say, not as I do, that old trope, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But we get to the reunion itself. Everyone's coming to the realization that Karen's not there. Nobody's seen her. She's not answering her phone. And that's the first thing we address when we get onto the stage. Karen's absence. Like I said, nobody's spoken to her. Does anybody know why she's missing? Everyone's like, no. We do know that she was found guilty. Again, 7 out of her 8 charges. Come to find out, she's checked herself into a private facility, aka she's checked herself into rehab. Yep. Of course, everyone there's like, oh, that's great. That's what she should have done. She should have done it before all of this, especially before her trial, but at least she's getting help now. Wendy calls it out. I'm glad somebody called it out.
Wendy still feels scorned after watching the season.
As she should, because Karen threw her under the bus repeatedly, and she invited her to the White House. We watched Wendy stick up for her at every single turn.
I'm so happy that she did not just stick to it and say, you know what, Karen, you're still my friend. You're still going to do all of this. I'm still going to stick up for you. She's like, no, fuck that.
That's not Wendy.
No,
Wendy doesn't.
I like that.
Yeah, she doesn't fuck around like that. But she calls it out and says, it's just interesting that she would do that right before her sentencing and not before the trial itself, which everybody around the room kind of agrees, which I did too. It's like, well, yeah, obviously, if she can reduce her sentencing, like we would all do that. It's like, yeah, that's fair. Stacey, of course, is speaking up for Karen, like, oh, no, like, don't even, like, this is not fair, this and that. I agree with Wendy, where she's like, look, if we're friends, we're going to ask questions because we want to get to the bottom of this whole thing. But of course, Stacey's just going to say, no, Karen, no. But let's get to Karen's message and get this out of the way immediately. She checked herself in because she's taking antidepressants, mixing it with alcohol, and she goes through her list of thank yous. This list of thank yous is why I did not take her seriously.
Yep.
This list of thank yous is the reason that I, as somebody in recovery, as somebody very outspoken about recovery, take this whole thing as a sham. I think it's bullshit. I think she's using it to try to take advantage of the recovery community. I don't think that's fair to people that actually have to go through this and do it for the right reasons. And I think that is highlighted by the fact that she used this opportunity to take digs at people. She used the opportunity to thank Gizelle, Kiarna, Jassi, and even Candace, who is no longer on the show, taking direct shots at Wendy by not mentioning her. And I think that is such horseshit. I'm glad she's getting help because I do think she actually needs it. You'll get zero sympathy from me. As somebody that really went through this whole fucking process, to use this to your advantage, to not have to answer for your bullshit at a reunion for a fucking TV show.
That's what she was doing. That's all she was doing, was just putting this video out there so that she could still be shady.
Yes.
Still act like she's the grand dame. Still act like she's in charge of everything and her word is law. All of the things that she always does. And she would do that at the reunion, but she knows that she would get skewered.
Yeah.
We said this before. The timing, obviously doing it before sentencing and not the trial, that's obvious. But doing it before the reunion is so that she doesn't have to go on a public stage and answer for the things that she's done, answer for the friendships that she has completely scorned or turned away from. All of the things that she's done all season, she gets to get out of it scot-free. And obviously, she'll probably be back next year, and we'll start off the season with talking about her and talking about her mending her friendships and showing up for people. But right now, this was just a huge fuck you.
It was. It was a massive fuck you, not only to the people on stage, but like I said, people in my position that actually go through this shit. I thought it was disrespectful, disingenuous, and I'm completely out on Karen Huger.
Yeah,
I do think I genuinely hope she gets help. I do hope that next year she comes back, and if she does come back, I hope that it is with genuine apology and that she actually learns something while she's away in rehab. But I thought that this was one big play, and it's highlighted by the fact that she didn't even take her message to the women seriously. So that's all I have to say about it. I don't have to say anything else about it.
And hopefully we don't have to talk about it for the rest of the reunion.
I would much prefer that. And Wendy takes it for what it was, and she's like, seeing what happened during the season, then watching this video, that right there is not my friend. That's not my friend. It's like, nope. And she never was.
Right, Wendy.
And Gizelle points out, she's like, I've been telling you this. She's like, I didn't fucking trust you. I was like, that's pretty funny.
That was the funniest moment too.
Yeah.
And we all know that their past is very checkered between Gizelle and Wendy. So the fact that they can laugh about that and say, I didn't fucking trust you. Great. Incredible. Because it shows how far we've come with both Gizelle and Wendy.
Well,
they both were very different, but so much better this year.
They were so great
in the past.
They were both great.
With Wendy not letting the little shit bother her, not just focusing on like weird storylines about talking about this and this. She had a great season for herself, really redeemed herself in my eyes. And Gizelle transformed into the leader of the show.
Yep.
And there is no more Karen to be on your back.
Nope.
You're not the grand dame, as she says a little bit later. She's just Gizelle.
Yeah.
And she showed up in a big way. And this is what you have to do.
Yeah. When you lose the dead weight in Robin, you can shine.
Yep.
And I think that was also a massive part of this season, was the lack of Robin being there allowed for these different characters to kind of come out. Wendy, Gizelle, they shined. And we get to them immediately. Like Dr. Wendy and Giselle's friendship. Both of them, Gizelle was lighter and funnier. Wendy was lighter and funnier, and, Wendy attributes some of that to the fact that she left her position at the university. She's like, I no longer felt like I had to keep up this image of what a professor is, which is so funny that she acknowledges that.
Yeah, but I agree with it.
I do too.
Makes a lot of sense.
If we go back and watch those scenes with her previously, how much she would bring it up, she would carry herself a certain way, wear certain clothes. Now she doesn't give a fuck, and she's funny, and I like this Wendy a lot. But we check in with Happy Eddie. Happy Eddie is booming, of course. Like, shocker, weed business doing well.
Oh, yeah.
Stacy's a big fan of the gummies.
Maybe too big of a fan.
Little shady.
Is she doing the SpongeBob, like, plankton type of thing? Like, did she take one of the edibles but didn't take it? She just took it back to a lab to get tested?
Oh, the secret for the Krabby Patty formula?
For the secret formula.
Wow. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. But Gizelle...
Stacey has a Karen at home, but it's just TJ. That would work.
That's really funny. But yeah, Gizelle calls her out. She's like, you didn't have a meeting with somebody? And she's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And she's like, you didn't have a meeting with somebody?
There's a little smile in there. Stacey's turned. She's changed.
Stacey has changed ever since the doggy party. Mm-hmm. Stacey's a little bit different than the Stacey that we started the season out with. And Giselle's like, you didn't have a meeting with someone and say, I'm a celebrity. Why should I work with you? Oh, it's because I'm a celebrity. And Wendy's like, don't do that. Hey, don't do that. And Angie's like, well, you did that with the candle. She's like, fuck, no, I didn't. Karen did that with the candle. She's like, oh, right. My bad. But going through Wendy's season again, like, she did a lot of cool things this year. Obviously, going to the White House was incredible. And she acknowledges it was surreal, especially considering the recent results in the election. Probably not going to be back at the White House anytime soon. She does regret inviting Karen, which she should.
Yes.
Now let's get to the Stacey versus Karen, all that shit. And I'm glad that Kiarna said something because I thought this, and it was interesting that nobody pointed out the fact that this information was given to Stacey before the season started.
Yes.
She was tight with Wendy the whole season.
Oh, yeah.
Not one time did she bring this up until the friendship with Karen started falling apart.
Yeah.
Stacey's defense was not good.
No, it really wasn't. And really all she had to say was, look, I reserved the right to learn who you were as a person. I wanted to be my own person away from Karen and not listen to what she was saying. And you could even say I forgot at this point.
Sure.
You could just say, you know what? It didn't come back to me until Karen started being an asshole to me. And I started thinking, well, what did she do? What was she saying before? What can I use against her? You could say any of those things.
She just says...
She just didn't do that.
She says exactly what Kiarna accused her of. She's like, that's not what happened. I had Karen's back, and then all of a sudden I find out that she's saying mean things about me, and so then I thought I would tell Wendy. It's like, that's what Kiarna said you did.
It's exactly what she said.
You just repeated her words.
Or just, you know what? Own up to it in like a good, fun way and be like, yeah, you know what? I kept that in the back pocket. Wasn't sure what I was going to need. I didn't trust Karen fully. Say things like that. You can say whatever you want. Karen's not here to defend herself.
Yeah, she's not going to
What
be
is she going to do? Zoom in?
No.
She's going to start to... No,
you're not allowed to make phone calls.
Not allowed to make phone calls during this. Yeah.
Trust me.
Yep.
Yeah, only on Sundays.
That's all you have to do. She's not here to defend herself. Just wait and see and say, you know what? Yeah, I knew that. I kept it in my back pocket and I used it at the right time. What do you want me to do?
100%. Yep. But I still have the question, and I think I'm starting to figure out what it is. Because Giselle's had this weird thing with Stacey all season.
Yeah.
Right? I think I understand where Giselle's coming from. Because Wendy brings up the fact that Karen told her to be careful with Stacey because she's smart and she's educated. Gizelle goes, is she? I'm like, damn. I think I got it. Between that comment there, some of the shit we saw during the season, and then the Happy Eddie Spacey Stacey shit, I think Gizelle doesn't trust who Stacey is. I think she thinks there's more than we're seeing, and she's holding out reservations for that to happen.
Which is crazy, too, because when we watch these shows, we usually get a better sense of who everybody is. Because we see how they interact with everyone else in their one-on-ones. We see how they are in their confessionals, how they interact with their significant other, whoever it may be. And we didn't get that at all.
No.
We were actually questioning why Gizelle was treating Stacey like that because we didn't see any of that.
Might be onto something.
But she has this sixth sense. I don't know what it is with Gizelle. She can just snuff it out.
She might be onto something.
What's going on.
It'll be interesting to watch her arc next season if she's right or not. But she is right in saying that Karen grooms the new girls.
Yeah.
So you get a montage of it.
Very interesting phrasing, but yes.
Yeah, not, questionable phrasing.
I knew what she meant.
I did too.
Yeah.
No,
and she's not wrong.
No, she's not. it's just, the implication of the word is a little stronger. But you do get this montage of her setting up the newbies with Ashley. She does it with literally everybody that comes on the show. And Kiarna jumps up to defend her, not really defend her, but just say, like, my relationship with her is the way it is because after everything that happened with Sesame Street last season, she was in the hospital with me. And Wendy, once again, Dr. Wendy, she's very smart. She goes, yeah, because that's the motherhood role. She loves the motherhood role. She has to take care of you. The minute you show her you can stand on your own 2 feet, she's going to lash out at you.
Yep.
And we've seen that happen. Wendy is the perfect example.
And the moment that you don't think of Karen first, she'll lash out at you.
Correct.
You should always keep her in the forefront of your mind and worry about what she's doing before you make plans with anybody else,
her
especially on the show.
Is more important than anything else.
And that's important too, because that's how she portrays herself on the show. Apparently her off screen, very nice.
Yeah.
Great person.
And
she's got this whole persona when she gets on camera.
The grand dame.
Fortunately for everybody else, she works that way, and it's very weird.
It is strange, but we get to check in with Jassi, who I didn't mind her this season. She didn't do a whole lot.
Fine. I didn't think she got a lot of screen time.
Yeah, I didn't get a whole lot of screen time, but when she was there, she was fine. I wouldn't, if she comes back as a friend of, I have no issues with that.
I wouldn't have any issues.
But they're going through all of her stuff because obviously, and this is why I actually would have preferred her get a little more screen time. It's an interesting dynamic, an interesting issue that she's had.
Just kind of like left it alone after that. We had one full episode of talking about it. Then we kind of decompressed and talked about it the next episode. I think it was in Lake Norman or wherever we were at the time.
Yep.
And then that was it.
I think it's crazy that Andy keeps calling her a side chick to her face.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, dude. Because he brings it up. He's like, you sound like the side chick. And she's like, I've never been the side chick. I'm the main course.
That's the response we expect, yeah.
Yeah. And Andy doubles down. He's like, you were building a friendship while he was still with her. She's like, I had no idea he was still with her.
He didn't post her on Instagram.
Just because she was pregnant with his baby. She said they weren't together. I'm like, I don't know what's true or not. I know this is a fucked up situation.
She didn't get enough screen time for me to care if it's true. You know what I mean? I think if it was more of a pressing issue and we really kind of nailed into it, it could have been for sure. Instead of all the M.I.A. bullshit, we could have talked about what Jassi's doing.
Yeah.
And get deeper into that, but we didn't really have to. And I feel like the girls were kind of disinterested after they heard her. They're like, whatever. Like,
it seems like a weird situation.
Yeah.
So we didn't really get a whole lot with it. I mean, she might even been gone after that.
She was pretty much gone after that.
Yeah, that was pretty much the only.
It was the shortest stint for a friend of that I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, so we'll see if she comes back or not. Like I said, I have no issue if she comes back, especially if we get rid of M.I.A. We'll be able to hone in more on her storyline, perhaps.
M.I.A.'s leaving.
God, I hope so. But let's get to G&A and the whole debacle between Karen's award and the G&A event. We got a quick run through of Ashley and Gizelle season once again. Giselle's taking a lot of time here, and we get to see Noms again, talk about Josh. Obviously, we have to lead off with the never-ending question. Ashley, where are we at?
She's finally divorced now.
She is. It was like last week, right? Yay, congratulations.
And she had like a photo shoot ready too.
Good.
Which, you know what? That's leaning into it.
Yeah, at this juncture, do that. Because it's been so ridiculous. But
congratulations, Ashley. That's the best you're going to get out of us.
She did file.
Yeah.
In this moment. So at least she filed their job and everything is done. And out of nowhere, M.I.A. jumps in. She's like, we're in the final stages. So shut up.
No one asked.
Shut up. And no one cares either. And no, you're not.
And you're not, because you're back. You're working on getting back with G anyway, and Ink is gone. So like nothing you do matters because everything you do is for the show. And then you forget that there are weirdos out there that for whatever reason are keeping tabs on M.I.A.'s life. And we know, and it's usually just M.I.A. posting on Instagram. We know what you're up to now. Mm-hmm. Not think about that, but we're going to completely lose interest.
She has no foresight.
No. Obviously, we're going to lose interest during halfway through the season when we find out now that Ink is not the baby's dad. You're back with G. Ink is out of the picture. Why do we care about anything that's on the screen anymore?
We don't.
You should wait, or you should keep that shit under wraps.
Or go away.
Just go away. Yeah, I would prefer that, man.
And you got like a G&A update, which, again, not a whole lot going on there. They're changing their community outreach now. They're not selling stuff.
They're not selling T-shirts or whatever.
It's whatever. But we get to the dueling events. I agree with the first statement. You should prioritize the first invite. Mm-hmm. Wherever you invited to first, the same day invitation from Karen should not matter.
Yep.
I agree with Giselle's interpretation of it as far as Wendy goes. Look, She made a decision and she stayed somewhere. That's fine rather than strolling in.
Better than strolling in at 8:03.
We did get to see William again.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, we got William one more time.
Shout out William.
Shout out William. I've said it. We need William at every party, on every show. There should be security. We got 2 security moments this season. I think we can do better next year.
Definitely do better
We got
next year.
one from Potomac. We got one from Salt Lake. We can get more people kicked out by security. And I think
Imagine homeless, not toothless with security.
Oh my God, right?
That would be great.
Like, we need security at every party. But Jassi was still there because she takes issue with it. And it's like, well, I mean, she apologized. Like, Karen, sorry, Gizelle apologized immediately, like following this whole thing, saying like, my anger was at Karen. It was clearly not at you guys. That's where you get Andy saying, are you the Grand Dame? In energy, yes.
Yes.
Giselle is now that role.
If there has to be a Grand Dame of Potomac,
then Giselle is the one right now.
Giselle is that. Does she want that title? No.
Absolutely not. But let's get to this bizarre situation that we did not, had no idea this was going on.
Yeah.
Because this happened after the season. Mia's having a birthday party in Miami. So she sends out some invites to Jassi and Stacey to come to Miami for the party. Okay, fine, great.
Seems reasonable.
It's off camera. I don't care what she's doing.
Yep.
That's fine. You want to invite them? Great.
I don't want to go back to M.I.A. with Mia.
Nope, don't need to do that.
Nope.
But funny you should say that, because guess who was M.I.A. in Miami?
Yep.
Mia. No shit.
God.
This is so strange. They show up, they text her that they're there, and she ghosted them. They had no idea where she was.
No text message back, and then they show up to dinner, which was supposed to be at 8 o'clock.
She shows up an hour late.
Until whenever, and then left.
Yeah.
Because not only are we not getting a text back saying, hey, yeah, I'll be at dinner later. If you get that text, yeah, maybe you stay that hour and say, oh, it's Mia. She's probably late. Oh, it's Mia. She's probably still getting ready. She's with Ink doing whatever. I don't know. Thank God Jacqueline's not on stage to explain it away.
Oh, my God.
Mia's out there on an island by herself trying to figure this out. And her excuse is nothing.
I set up a POC. Stacey and Jassi both like, what the fuck is that? Ashley jumps in. Point of contact. Okay,
Thanks.
who talks like that?
No
First
one.
of all, what a weird thing to say.
Mia.
And Mia's claiming that she had no idea. It's like they texted my POC. Thank God Stacey has receipts, and thank God this is arguably some of the best receipts we've ever gotten.
And the POC didn't make contact. It's in the name.
No.
It's in the name.
It literally says Mia on the text message. She pulls it out, and Andy reads it. It's an itinerary sent from Mia. Hey, ladies, this is what I want to do. It is a spa day or some shit. We're going to dinner here, yacht day, whatever the fuck. We have all these different activities. So Stacey responds, oh my God, sounds so much fun. Can't wait. I'm coming. Very clearly.
Yep.
She commits to go. Mia responds, can't wait, or something along those lines.
Along those lines, yep.
Confirmation that they are going to Miami.
Confirmation that they're going and that it was received.
Correct.
Yep.
Stacey texts her upon arrival. Hey, just got to Miami. So excited. Can't wait to celebrate you. Blah, blah, blah.
Where are you?
No response.
Yep.
The text message was read the following day. No response until 12:15 a.m. Queen, where are you? To which I guess Stacey replied like, this is so rude.
Went home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
She's like, I stayed even though you didn't say anything. I still showed up to dinner. And she's like, but then you left. It's like, you were fucking late.
Yep.
Why would she?
Dinner reservation.
You haven't texted her.
Yep.
You haven't let her know. So of course she leaves, even after being nice enough to show up there. And
Probably one of Peter's restaurants. She can do whatever she wants.
oh, I bet it was. She's probably in the back with Peter. Hey-o.
Hey.
But seriously, Jassi pointing out, she left her fucking kid to be down there with you. She left her daughter to fly down to Miami to celebrate your birthday.
Yep.
And not only did you not tell her, hey, we're not hanging out, you just left her on red the entire weekend. And of course, Andy's like, well, where's Jacqueline through this whole thing? She's like, oh, Jacqueline told us that Mia was more worried about Ink.
Yep.
There it is.
There you go.
Now we figured it out.
Yep.
It was an Ink problem.
It's always an Ink problem. Ink is permanent.
Ink is permanent.
That's all it is.
Now, because she's been found out, now Mia feels bad. Now she's starting to get upset. Now she's looking around for fucking tissues. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
She's looking around for support. Nobody in that room is going to support you.
Why would they?
Nope.
You haven't
all
earned that.
know that you've been lying and you're still lying. As soon as you said that you were in the final stages of your divorce with G, everybody called you a liar.
Yeah.
And they're right.
Because you
they know who you are and what you do. And when you do your sympathy cry, no one's falling for it.
Thank God Wendy calls her out.
A million times. Wendy, who is pretty bipartisan and kind of stands up for Mia when she needs to, immediately calls her out.
Yep.
You have nobody left to defend you. And thank God Jacqueline wasn't out there. I'm going to say it again, because you know that she would just be talking away and it takes away from all of Mia and then she can kind of skate under the radar.
Correct.
We are actually grilling her. This is not what I thought we were going to grill Mia for.
No.
And this is great.
It's awesome because she deserves this. Wendy calling her out, she deserves that. And now she wants to say, I'm taking full accountability for this because I haven't been a good friend. I've got a lot going on right now. Gizelle points out what I think a lot of people need to hear when they do this kind of bullshit.
Yep.
I get people go through things and I get people need support. I am a very big advocate for speaking up and asking for help.
Yep.
But don't frame it like your shit is more important than other people's shit. Because as Gizelle says, we're all going through a whole lot, all of us. And your shit made a mom leave her kid to fly to Miami for a weekend to celebrate your birthday. And you didn't have the decency to text them and say, hey, I've got some shit going on right now. I am so sorry, or anything. So you don't get to now play the victim in this whole thing and start crying about it and say, I'm in a bad season right now, bad season of friendship. Kiarna, it's like,
I thought
it's a 3-year fucking season.
Louder.
I'm like, boom.
I thought that spoke so loud too. The fact that she refers to it as a season.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's how her life is.
That's a good point.
She looks at her life in seasons of the show. Mm-hmm. That's how it goes. I had a really tough season of friendship this year. What about the rest of your life? What else is going on?
Kiarna points out 3-year season. So 3-year season going on. Because this is your shit all the time. And now you got called out for it. So we get to this post segment where they're breaking for lunch or whatever. Then she goes to Stacey's room and Jazzie's in there and she's like, I love and I care about you guys and I just don't have the capacity to be a friend right now. And Stacey just points out the bullshit.
Yep.
She's like, dude.
I'm so happy this is the new Stacey too.
Me too. Because old Stacey
7 or 8 weeks ago
would have
like, you know what, Mia, it's okay. I know you're going through a lot. We're all going through a lot, but you're going through a lot too. It's all right. Water under the bridge. Now it's Stacey like, fuck that.
Yeah. She's
absolutely
like,
not.
These tears are bullshit.
Yep.
This is your move. You got caught. And that's all you have to chalk it up to is go back to the initial reaction when they didn't get a text message from her.
Yep.
They texted somebody else. I was going to text them back. They're blowing this out of proportion. Cue the receipts, cue the tears. So now Stacey's like, dude, go fuck yourself.
Yep.
I'm not putting up with this shit. I don't believe you. And Mia's like, well, thanks for hearing me out. And she walks in and goes, I'm leaving. I can't do this anymore. Dude, don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. Get the hell out of here.
Doesn't, because she doesn't actually leave. But she threatens to leave again based on what we see for next week.
Please leave.
Yeah.
She is the only reason that this show had bad moments this year. It would have been a good season. It would have been cohesive. We would have gotten
could have had a chance to be great.
It could have been a great season. We could have had the chance to get to know the newbies more. Jassi could have taken more of a center stage. We could have gotten to know Kiarna more.
Yep.
We could have done so many more things, but we got bogged down for 5 episodes straight with this who's the kid's father bullshit that we already knew because Mia has to produce storylines for herself because she thinks she's more important than she actually is, when in fact, she could have been the reason that this show failed.
Yep.
So get her the fuck out of here. Let this be the last time we see Mia Thornton on our television because she doesn't belong on this show. She will be the downfall. So get her out, Andy.
Get her out.
Let's get to some questions.
First one up here from J Bay the Hut 713. Did Ashley know that Karen wasn't coming based off of having the pic of Karen? I think producers had a picture of Karen.
And if anybody did know, I could see Ashley.
I could see Ashley being the one to know, for sure. But I do think the producers had that picture ready to go.
Proudy.
Another picture-centric question from JWhat104. Where do you think Karen's picture should have been?
Not there.
All the way at the end.
Not present.
Yeah, not present.
It
is a funny prop.
I don't. Yeah. Who cares? She's not there.
From Mike Bros, our bro.
What's up, bro? Dude, he messaged Steele's Meals.
Yeah.
He was in Tokyo.
Yeah.
I will say this about him, and multiple other people have reached out about the steak thing, saying I had no idea about filet. So he messaged me and said, hey, man, I'm in Tokyo. We're going to this great steakhouse later. I need to know which cut to get. Do I get, it was like deluxe Kobe, like Kobe deluxe lean, or do I get the Kobe sirloin?
Yeah.
I was like, get the sirloin. It has a better fat content, therefore more flavor. So nice job, Mike. I hope that you enjoyed the steak. But yeah, the fact that people really resonated with my steak talks makes me very happy.
It always works. Mike asks, is this cast finally done with M.I.A, the pathological liar?
Pathological
liar.
God,
I hope so. I think the cast is definitely done with her.
I can't see a world where she comes back.
I hope the show is done with her, but I think the cast is done with her.
I just don't understand how she goes forward with any kind of, there's no redemption arc. There's nothing we want to see from her. It's not like, you know, she's a guilty pleasure for some of the fans of the show. I don't think she has anybody that's like, fuck yeah, I'm a big M.I.A stan. Get her out of here. She almost fucked this whole season up.
She did. From Robert Taylor, writer of Stuff. Great username.
What do you do?
Yeah, what do you write? What kind of stuff? Is this the episode that Wendy finally pushed through and became an A-tier housewife? Not A-tier, but she is much better.
I think that what you got from this season is a couple of housewives knocking on the door of that threshold. I think Gizelle is in the running to take a step up. I think Wendy's in the running to take a step up. And I think that's really exciting from a show that has had a couple of really shitty years where we were questioning the future of the show. Yep. I think that if these two can maintain this level through another season, then yes, they're in that conversation.
Yeah, agreed. And last one here from Mayra Helwig. Do we think Karen is coming back next season? That video message was not awesome. I think she's probably coming back next season.
I don't know. I think it depends on whether or not she's in fucking prison.
That's a good point.
How about that?
Reporting from prison.
Yeah, I don't like I said, zero sympathy after that bullshit message. So I don't really care if she's back or not.
Good point.
Yeah. Hopefully the next one's a little more in depth.
Rambunctious.
Yeah, sure.
I want it to be rambunctious.
Sure. Maybe just more. I just want more to talk about.
You want bunctious.
I just want more to talk about.
Yeah.
You know,
that would be bunctious.
There wasn't depth.
Yeah.
More in depth.
Yeah, more in depth. But I think it's probably just going to be a team up on M.I.A, which I'm here for.
I'm here for that as well. And then finally get rid of her.
And also maybe a team up on TJ, I think. I still don't know what's going on with that whole thing, but I can't wait.
I always get a little like, oh, I want to know every time we get cliffhangers for things. This might be the most living rent free in my brain one that we've had. Yeah. Because he's such a strange figure. I have to know what this is.
I can't wait.
So hopefully that's the only reason I want it to be 2 parts is because I want to get to it faster.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think we will get to it next week, but
I hope so. God,
either way,
I hope so. Is it a picture of him naked with Bugs Bunny?
God, I don't want to see that.
Bugs Bunny.
Hey, Bugs.
Hey, Bugs.
Bugs doesn't want that.
No, not our Bugs. This is the cool Bugs.
Cool Bugs.
What's up, Bugs? Even though it's Space Jam with LeBron. That's okay.
That's all right.
That's okay. We're going to look past that. I just realized we have LeBron in here.
Yeah.
What up, Bron? And we got Lola Bunny.
Can we end the episode? What are you doing here?
Did you have a crush on Lola Bunny?
Yeah, of course.
So did I. Isn't that weird when you think about it? I think every guy our age did.
It's definitely weird.
Strange.
Yeah.
There's more there.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, you got anything else?
Nope.
That's our show. Bro's got to go.